Hello, Club Race Heroes. Today, I'm just going to disassemble my 17.5 Club Race Hero. Right now, from my previous videos, I showed you how to prep the chassis and showed you the new uh, pivot ball that goes from the chassis to the pod. Um, so that's what we call well, at least I call it the Billy ball. Kind of an interesting little take there. Um, so Now to switch over the chassis, I'm just going to take off all the pieces. Now to do that, I do highly recommend a electric screwdriver. Just saves your wrist because it kills after a while. So it's pretty simple. I'll try and tilt it so that way it's easy for everybody to see. So first we just start taking off all the screws for the body mounts. And usually what I'll do is I will keep those aside. All the screws kind of keep uh, it's a little hard to do when you're trying to film. So, of course, it doesn't really want to go easily. Gotta love this. And then we take out the bumper. Simple, easy. The bumper's not that hard. It's just TPU material. One thing that we found was that the nut on the bumper does tend to sink into the TPU bumper. So, again, you can see that the sinking in because TPU is very soft. So again, someone came up with a nice little brace for the front that I'm going to put onto the car. You can see here, and that'll be a nice little nut holder for the bumper as well. Then we go ahead and start disassembling the front end. Usually I'll just take the screws for the servo, and with my extra space in the hole that I created with a drill bit, it's just an easy removal of that screw. And now, of course, we take out the front end. Now, usually what I'll do is take off the entire front end and put the front end on the new chassis, but I'm going to save that for another video of building a Club Race Hero car next. Now, one thing I should have done, but I didn't, was I did not take the battery out first. Usually I like to take the battery out first. That way you know there's no LiPo issues coming your way. Nobody wants a surprise from LiPos. So there we go. We have, as you can see, the whole front end will come up. Also, when you take the battery out, it's a little bit easier to remove the servo wires. So we go ahead and flop all the screws. The one thing also I did was I actually added a 1mm shim underneath my NOS front end. As you can see, I just mark it with the Sharpie. It's too thin to really embed a number into it in the 3D printer. I just didn't want to upset the integrity of it, so I just basically just use a silver Sharpie. It's pretty simple. As you can see here, just take off the battery base. I'll try and do this as quick as possible. Take out the battery, make sure we're good to go there, and usually I just take out the servo. As you can see, the whole front end comes off. Now you'd be using like a CRC front end or the new Roche/Awesomatics front end that was designed by Scott Jakes. It's a nice little design here. Absolutely love it. Might actually try this at Snowbirds. This one's printed out of the PA HT carbon fiber. Then the other thing I will do is I'll disconnect the transponder, but I'll take it out later because once I pull the rear end apart. Now I will start pulling the rear end apart. As you can see, pretty simple. This rear end is based out of total carbon fiber, or PAHT, I think it is, carbon fiber. I can link below what carbon fiber filament I was using. This one here is a bamboo carbon fiber. Um, Now, do you need it for all these parts? Personally, I kind of recommend it for the body mounts because you need a little flexy, and the PA nylon will give you a little flex. Um, so the one thing I am going to try on snowbirds with the next build, and it'll be part of the next video, is just pure PA12 without the carbon fiber. That way you could get a little bling with the red. So we go ahead and take off the upper links. Pretty simple. Once I take off the upper links, I'll be able to take off the electronics tray and then the motor out. See, hopefully we can make this quick enough. So now we have our side links. Good to go. I will start taking out the electronics tray. Now, the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to change out my electronics tray to a PLA Plus red tray. Don't really need the carbon fiber. Carbon fiber looks cool, but I kind of like the bling of the fire engine red here for it. And also, I cut a slot out for some extra weight that'll go underneath my electronics. So I have here just a little extra tungsten to go along with my tungsten I have underneath. So I'll try and keep it in frame here. Apologize if I don't. I will go with the dampening stick. Again, I have not put any dampening fluid in there. I will do that after I arrive snowbirds. I do not want that getting everywhere in the luggage. Now, usually I carry all my cars on with me. On my carry-on luggage, I'll stack all three, and then any spares that I need to bring with me. So as you can see here, I will take out the fan since this one here doesn't have a plug in the fan side. So that way we have all electronics almost out. The only thing we have to take out now is the motor. So do that next. We are almost done of taking apart a full. It would be quicker if I actually hit the screw. So there we go. Now we have a whole one piece. So we have electronics tray, motor, everything. As you can see, it's a whole one piece. Not too bad. Again, I'm going to swap it out with this one here. So this just goes in the trash. Another good thing is, when you print the PLA versions of these cars, it's pretty cheap. You're talking less than, a couple bucks to print the chassis. The carbon fiber, it's about $6.50 for the chassis. Then, total of $9 for the filament. But then, of course, you have to have a 3D printer. So it's a little more expensive when you have to buy a new 3D printer. So there we go. We have the pod. Now we'll go ahead and remove the pod from the chassis. Don't really need to do this, but I'll reuse these screws coming up in the build coming up. So not too hard. Just leave my tungsten in for now. So now we have pretty much almost everything out. Remove the fan. Now I'm not going to use my carbon fiber bearing carriers or ride height adjustments. I'm going to try a PA12 red. Sorry about that. Right here, it'll give the flexibility and strength. This is 100% infill PA12. You can see here, now we could take out the the chassis. As you can see here, it's got the old ball in it, where the slot is on the chassis and not on the um, inside the pod. So, and that is what we changed. So, gotta take that one out. Granted, I'll end up just either trashing this, or if someone wants the my old carbon fiber chassis, just let me know. I'll hold on for them a bit. I can always ship them out or what have you. And so now we just pull out the bearing carriers. Pretty simple. Couple screws each side. Again, if you had to do this by hand, it would be no fun. I started to do that the first time I started Club Race Hero, and let's just say didn't get halfway through the car before I just said I'm going to go buy one at Lowe's. So this one here is the Cobalt. Not the best one. One thing I do recommend is potentially getting one with a automatic clutch. That will prevent you from potentially stripping out. What I do is I'll just let the automatic screwdriver slip. No, I got popped that out, and there we go. We are completely disassembled, as you can see. We'll just pull out over here the transponder, but that is completely done. I'll just swap out the screws. I'm actually going to change these to titanium to get around any magnetic interference or magnetic change from the screws into the motor. And this I'll just take out and swap out the bearing carriers. So it's not too hard. But yeah, so that is removing everything from a chassis. So far, we're 12 minutes into the video, so not too bad. We'll be able to build up the new chassis in no time. So I have a PA12, the carbon fiber version, 100% infill, that I'll be putting on. Same thing with the pod, and then all my other pieces, and I'll show that in the next video. Thank you. Have a great day.